everyone, today in Integrated Math 2 we're going to go over Chapter 7, Lesson 6. Here are the objectives. Make sure you write them down in your notes. So we have the inequalities of two triangles, and we have some theorems to go along with this. So the Hinge Theorem. If two sides of a triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle, then the included angle of the first is larger than the included side and the second triangle. Then the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second triangle. Alright, so let's look at the example so that makes more sense. If side AB, this one here, is congruent with side FG, and AC is congruent with FH, and we also know the measurement of angle A is greater than the measurement of angle F, then we'll know that this side BC must be greater than GH. Which makes sense. Think about it from the one before. We know if it's directly across from it, that kind of tells us the lengths of it. Well, they have to be congruent triangles to some extent. And think about it like we have two sides that are congruent. Well, if these two are the same but the degree is a little different, it's going to tell us which one of these is greater. Well, obviously the one with the greater degree. So BC is going to be the longer side than GH. The converse of the Hinge theorem. Two sides of a triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle, and the third side in the first is longer than the third side in the second triangle. Then the included angle measured the first triangle is greater than the included angle in the measure of the second triangle. So for example, if JL is congruent to PR, which is right here, and we also know that KL and QR are congruent as well. PQ, which is this segment, is greater than this segment here, which is JK. And because we know that, then we can say that angle R must be greater than angle L because 12 is bigger than 8. So let's go over example 6. We want to compare the given measures. So RQ and ST, these ones here. Let's kind of find out what's going on between them. So let's start with our given information. So A, we know what we're given is that side RS, is congruent with side QT. And that's what they gave us, so we can say that. I also can see that they share a certain line. Think about the reflexive property. That's what's going on here. So I can say those are congruent. I'm doing that QS is congruent with QS because it's the same. They both share that side. So think about it. We're using the Hinge theorem here. We have a side and we have a side and an angle between. A side and an angle between here as well. They are different degrees. So in this case, we're trying to find out RQ and ST, which one's greater than. So angle TQS must be greater than the angle QSR. So because of that, then we can say that the measure of angle TQS must be greater than the measure of angle QSR. Well, with that information, remember the ones directly across from it. So here, I know that ST must be greater than RQ. That's the first part. So I know this one's greater.